Hey, what's up guys? Mark from SANDMARC here, and today we're going to be talking about lighting in portrait photography, which is really important to photography in general because it can take your image from looking flat and boring like this to something dynamic like this. Now the first thing we're going to talk about is the basic three-point lighting setup. Now the three-point lighting setup, you've got your key light, your fill light, and your backlight. Now the key light is pretty much your main light. It's the light that is lighting your subject essentially. It's going to be the brightest one, the closest one, the one that allows your camera sensor to see whatever it is that you're shooting in the first place. Now the backlight is really important because it separates your subject from the background, giving it more depth. Now the fill light is pretty interesting because it doesn't necessarily need to be a light. It can be anything that will reflect some light back towards your subject because its main purpose is to kind of fill in some of those darker shadows and bring a bit of that information back. Now I want to stress that you don't actually need a bunch of different expensive lights to get an interesting and professional looking image. Just having one light in place where you didn't have a light before can dramatically shift your image just based on how you place the light on your subject. However, the way I like to see it is the more lights that you have, the more layers and the more depth you can add to your image. And I'm going to show that just working our way up from one light to two lights to all three lights that we mentioned in the basic three-point lighting setup, just to show the differences in the looks that you're going to achieve with each light added. You can really do a lot with just a single light. Even if you don't have something to light your background, you allow some of that light to spill on the back wall and you can get some great shots. Or if you kind of want a more spotlighted effect, you just light the foreground, keep the back dark, and then it's really going to have this really dramatic and nice looking effect. Now with using a single light, I think it looks pretty good. Again, it adds some depth, it's a little bit dramatic and moodier, and sometimes this is all you need because you want those hard shadows. You want something moody and dramatic. Now moving on from the basic three-point lighting setup, I'm going to move us into shaping light. Now in shaping light, you're pretty much just moving the light around on the subject's face to create different shapes or light patterns on the person's face to portray different moods, to maybe make the person look more flattering. There are a bunch of different ways to do it, but the three that I'm going to talk about are Rembrandt lighting style, Paramount lighting style, and split lighting styles. Now Rembrandt lighting is very, very common in cinema because it's dramatic characteristics. It's actually named after a Dutch painter named Rembrandt, who used this lighting style all the time in his paintings. Now it's characterized by this little triangle that you're going to get on the dark side of the subject's face, as you can see here. In addition, with the positioning of the light, it also allows you to sculpt the chin line of your subject, making them appear more flattering. Now you may have guessed that Paramount lighting gets its name from Paramount Studios, which used to commonly use this lighting style to light its subjects, specifically its female talents in movies. This lighting style is characterized by the little butterfly shape that you get under the nose. Studios consider this to be a very flattering lighting style that really brought out the best characteristics and features in a person's face. And the third and final lighting style is split lighting, which is pretty much where one side is light and one side is dark, and it's split right down the middle. Now this is a very, very dramatic lighting style that is typically used in order to try to portray a sense of drama and tension in an image, or to make a subject maybe appear more masculine or tougher. For me, lighting is all about taking what you have and getting creative with what you know. Now, all in all, I think lighting is one of the most fun things to get down in your image because it could really, again, be the difference between a pretty mundane, average looking photo to a really intense and dynamic photo in the same exact location with the same subject and the same camera. So just a quick recap on our crash course for lighting. We went over the basic lighting setup, the Rembrandt lighting, Paramount lighting, and split lighting, just to give you some ideas behind the intention of different lighting setups and styles. For this shoot, I utilized our ProLight RGB and bicolor lights to get the effects that I mentioned in the video. I'll drop a link to those in the description below, along with any other equipment that I used during the shoot. And as always, thanks for watching and happy shooting. Peace.